Good morning, people, and welcome back. We have the Stackable Clues Poll 84 blog here. This is the updated poll blog or updated clue blog from like 2 or 3 weeks ago, where there was a lot of controversy around the clue scroll stuff. Jairus has given us a updated version. We're going to have a look now. Normally I'd be live doing this, but I've changed my stream schedule on the end of the week, so I'll give you this video now today, of course. Still got to deliver that content, and they've already got an update here since they've put it out, saying that they're going to poll keeping the 1 hour timer in place alongside the inclusion of scroll boxes. So that kind of gives us some insight to the blog already, but it looks like we're going to have at least 2 questions now on this update. So they basically, what are they talking about here? They went live, they've seen a huge wave of thoughtful feedback, debate, and concerns about stackable clues, especially around the element of skip tokens, which I wasn't a big fan of skip tokens personally. I don't think a lot of people were. The 5 scroll cap, the 1 hour despawn timer. So we're getting a lot of, it was a massive topic, so they pulled it and they wanted to do this separately. So that's what we're getting today. Spent time reevaluating the proposal and made meaningful changes we think strike a better balance between old school charm and quality of life. Perfect, that's what the people want. So they'll walk us through everything now. Skip tokens, removed. Perfect, cool, awesome. There was either remove them or like make it refresh the step without completing the step. Make them untradeable, but it's too much. It's not needed. It was unnecessary. Removing them is like at the end, like overall, it's the best option. So good call. They include the proposal with good intentions. The idea was to bypass the sorts of steps that make you want to juggle clues in the first place. I can understand that, but it's really hand-holdy behavior. We're also adding an additional reward layer for more consistent profitability on your treasure trails. However, you let us know loud and clear, this one did not hit the mark. Understandable. A lot of you felt skip tokens just didn't belong. They took away from the sense of challenge, progression, and satisfaction that comes from working through clues the old-fashioned way. For many, it felt like too much of a shortcut, a bit too modern, or for something so classically old school. Yeah, okay, whatever. That's all good. We're cutting them. We're happily hold our hands up and say we got this one wrong. We don't care about your apology. It's not genuine. Don't give a shit. Got rid of the skip clues, skip tokens. Awesome. Now, 1 hour despawn timer is staying. So, okay, it's staying. They're not even going to change it by the looks of it. I thought they might shorten it to like a 15-30 minute timer. But okay, 1 hour timer. They were going to go back to 3 minutes because it was an unintended side effect from a previous update to make it an hour. The problem there is that it was like 3 years, which makes it a feature because people are like utilizing it as a way to actually play the game now. So that's Jairus' fault. They should have got rid of it pretty quickly if they wanted to do something like this. I can't remember exactly why though they were doing that, but it is what it is. Specifically that the 1 hour timer encouraged clue juggling in a way that would feel fiddly, awkward, and inaccessible for a lot of players. I don't know if the word inaccessible is the right word to be using there, but sure. With scroll boxes on the way, we figured juggling wouldn't be necessary anymore. I understand that. The feedback challenged that, so many of you argued that the 1 hour timer enables a creative, community-driven form of clue gameplay. I'm not a juggler myself, so personally, I think juggling is fucking annoying, a waste of time. It's fiddly, but it's your fiddly, and it fits that spirit of emergent gameplay. We've always loved it. Yeah, sure, mate. Okay. When players come up with new ways to interact with content, even those approaches weren't part of the original design, we're usually happy to support them as long as they don't negatively impact the wider game. That's evident. Jairus does that all the time, so that's fair enough. After digging deeper into the data, we're reassured. Yes, players are doing more clues on average since the 1 hour time was added, but not to a degree where disruptive or damaging. So that's actually really good. More people are doing clues, but it's not fucking the economy. It's not actually like negatively impacting the game. So that's surprising and good. Additionally, the number of people who are actually juggling more clues than they'd be able to stack with these changes is very small. Right. So it's not a hill that we're willing to die on. So okay, that's fair enough. In short, the benefits of keeping this unique, high-effort playstyle far outweigh the concerns we had around balance or clue volume. Though if that ever changes in a big way, it's something we'd be open to revisiting in the future, of course. So if it becomes a problem, they will look at it, but right now it's not. It may never be a problem. I don't think it will. I think if they're still adding stackable clues, no matter the amount they add, it's going to actually pull back the amount of juggling done anyway. So that'll be handy. So they flipped their stance for now. The 1 hour timer is staying. Stackable clues help close the gap for a little for players taking things easier. Yeah, I'm not a juggler at all. So yeah, fuck that. Should we keep the 1 hour timer in place for the dropped clues? It's the best of both worlds if they do that. Sure, why not? Yes, I would vote yes to that. Which brings us to the 5 clue cap staying, but with more context. All right, so they're keeping the 5 clue cap. Hopefully they change the way that we get it, but it is what it is. But before you grab your pitchforks, hear us out. The goal here is to keep the clues as fun, occasional interruption to your gameplay, and not something you hoard and grind all day. The 5 clue cap lets you bank up to 5 clues at a time, giving you the freedom to take the solid clue session without interrupting your main activities. So this is fair because a lot of people, like, everyone does clues differently. The way I do clues is I don't drop them. I won't drop them. I will bank it and work towards that grind. My problem is I've got 901 fire making and nearly 900 searches at Wintertop, and I don't have the pants for my elites. I don't have a Zamorak full helmet for my master. I don't have a headband for my hard clue, so I can't do my hard clue to get a Zamorak full helmet to get my master done, and I can't do the hard clue because I don't have a headband, which I need to get from a medium. I've been doing daily medium clue scrolls on stream once a day. I know it's not much, but one a day for the past like 2 months now. Still no headband. Every other fucking piece of headwear though, and I'm stuck. But that's just how I do clues. It's the way. I mean, I'm just autistic like that. Some people will drop them and move on or juggle them. So this would actually open up my scope in clues, clues I'm able to do, and will also mean that I could probably work on getting these rewards faster, which is awesome. So that's why I'm a big fan of the clue cap, or the stackable clues in general, because it helps me. It will benefit my form of clue hunting more than jugglers. So we get that there's a balancing act here. On one hand, we want to make sure the casual players can still enjoy the system without having to ditch their raid team every time you get an elite clue. It's kind of a cope excuse, because if you're keeping the juggling for 1 hour, you're going to do that anyway. You can just juggle because no raid is taking over an hour unless you're like really learning Chambers of Xeric. Now, on the other hand, we don't want to turn clues into a giant grind fest where everyone's stockpiling scrolls for an all-day clue binge because it's so far removed that from what treasure trails are supposed to be. That's understandable too. I get that, because then you, like, when you play leagues and you get to like the last 2 weeks of leagues and it's just fucking 2 weeks of doing clues and you're just stacking the fuck out of them, it does become boring. And there's no, I get they don't want to have that in the main game. They want to keep it. If you don't introduce that, you keep the element of the treasure trail like alive still. So I see that completely. Here's where the 1 hour timer comes in. For those of you who enjoy juggling clues, it's still possible, but it's going to remain awkward, manual, and a tad weird, unwieldy? Sure. Just the way you like it. Our data shows that most players don't bother with this because it's such a hassle. Of course, I guarantee most people don't juggle. However, for those who really want to go full-blown clue hoarder mode, it's there as a workaround. In short, we hope the 5 clue cap strikes a balance. It gives casual players a convenient and accessible way to enjoy clues, but undermining the core idea that clues should remain fun. Yeah, okay, understandable. So progressive unlocks staying. Right, so we're getting 1 hour timers, we're getting stackable clues with a cap of 5, and they're keeping the progressive unlocks. We got the, okay, alright, cool, spoiler alert. We saw a fair bit of feedback around the clue slot unlocks feeling a little overcomplicated. It's not overcomplicated. People that don't understand this, they're not really... If you don't understand how this works in terms of unlocking the clue scrolls, you're just not an intelligent person. It's very fucking simple, right? But I find that in RuneScape, Oldschool Runescape, a lot of people don't even know how the fucking clan system works. Every week I've got to explain how it works on a Monday. But I mean, Jagex isn't also renowned for making the most simple, straightforward systems, so... It's a double-edged sword. We totally get where that's coming from. However, we also want to share why we still believe this system and why we'd like it to stay for the proposal. One, it's probably a hell of a lot easier to just implement this than develop something like a new shop or a new collection log reward system. So I get it. For those who missed the original explanation, as a reminder, when you unlock, when the update launches, you'll start with a basic capacity of 2 clues per tier. So you'll have your clue and 1 box or 2 boxes, but never like a clue counts as 1. Box basically, so you can have up to 5 in total of each tier. From there, you unlock additional storage slots by completing clue-related achievements. Complete the set number of clues per tier to earn extra stacking slots that specific type. So you don't have to complete the the X marks the spots quest anymore, I guess, or it's just assumed that everyone's going to have that shit done. So it's like a 2-minute quest, understandable. It's like having Cook's Assistant done. Defeat the Mimic. Doing so adds a +1 slot across all tiers, giving you extra stacking power no matter which clues you prefer. See, I like this. This is actually a good incentive because it means you have to at least do elites and masters, and you could get lucky, you could not. It's not super rare to get to the mimic, but I have gone like 3 times the fucking master rate for my first mimic on the GIM. But it's PVM related, it's clue related, which means it's also partially skilling related. It involves you actually grinding through it to get some sort of achievement out of killing the first mimic. I do like that. The completions for the first and second cap increase, so basically, just so we're on the same page, everyone's going to start with 2. Defeating the mimic will put you to 3 in each tier. So 4 and 5 is the completing this many clues, and then on the right, that many clues for your 5th one. Very simple. So once you complete 50 beginners, you can have 4 beginners and 3 of everything else. If you have 100 mediums done, which I have, I will have 4 mediums and then 3 of everything else, unless I've done X amount. I think I'll have probably 5, close to 5 hards and 4 mediums, and then like maybe 3 of everything else until you complete that many clues of each tier. It's very simple, very straightforward, but it is pretty grindy, especially the elite ones there. So each unlock bumps your capacity by 1, allowing you to stack more clues and dive into longer clue sessions. Defeating the mimic works a little differently. Grant you an extra slot for every clue tier at once, no matter your clue completion count. Now, a point I saw people having an issue with the elite clues is that they're not going to do 150 elite clues because fuck that. So they're going to be capped to having 4 elite clues and 5 of everything else when grinding the masters, which means when they're trying to pull masters from chests, they are effectively losing, or at least handing into Watson, they're losing 1 whole master because they aren't going to go, because why the fuck would they go 150 elites? Now they're being forced to grind it. Keeping the 1 hour juggling actually fixes that problem, because then you can start juggling your master clues if you wanted to, right? So that's an amazing workaround for that problem people were having. Solved. Like keeping the 1 hour timer, which I don't use, but keeping that and adding stackables literally just solves pretty much everyone's problem in the game. It fixes everything, in my opinion, from what I can see. On a related note, while we're talking about clue rewards, we've also heard feedback about unlocking the mimic encounter itself. Although the blog doesn't include changes to that system, we're currently working on adding a dry protection mechanic. I don't know. Okay. Meaning you'll eventually encounter the mimic after completing a specific number of elite or master clues, even if luck hasn't been on your side so far. Dry protection is what's the mimic rate? Oh, sorry, it's mimic. It's a 1 in 15 chance for a master, 1 in 35 from an elite. Are you fucking serious? The rates of those are both lower than for your first increase in cap. I remember specifically, I could be wrong, but I'm almost certain. Yeah, I think it was my main, where I couldn't get, I went 88 masters and then a certain amount of elites before I was able to actually get a mimic, my first mimic. Because I was trying to get the song or some shit. It took me so fucking long to do. So I've done 1 mimic on Sustagen, which is my current like main Ironman account, and I've done 28 elites and 3 masters. I mean, it's RNG. I don't think dry protection is necessary here. That's like, tell people to just fucking suck it up, keep doing the clues. You're gonna end up hitting the second and third, the first and second caps. If you're gonna be unlucky, you should have 150 elites by then. Turn the fucking thing on. Not a big fan of the dry mechanic. We still believe this unlock system respects your time, celebrates your progress, and gives clue content a real sense of growth. Awesome. So it's, at its heart, the approach is designed to make clue progression feel rewarding. There's a real sense of journey and discovery in clue hunting, and we think gradually unlocking additional storage slots through your own clue activity leans into that in a meaningful way. I liked the Only Trails Clue Scroll shop suggestion video. If you haven't seen it, I recommend checking it out. But I understand that being a hell of a lot of development and rebalancing around things that you just don't need to be having. So there should be no punishment for any players, because if you don't like juggling or stacking, you don't have to do either. You can just do your clues as you get them, like tough shit. There's no downside to this. This pleases, in my opinion, every single person in the game. The only thing people might not like is how to unlock more clues, but the option, like before this, you had 0. So either juggle or fuck you, basically. It is like, it's not the perfect system, but it's also like, it's a free fucking system. You have to do nothing but clue scrolls for it, so like, fuck, why not? Question number 2, should stackable clues via scroll boxes be added to the game as described in the blog? We will not revert the 1 hour time alongside this change. Should it pass the poll? Yes, perfect. I would vote yes to both, honestly. New Master Clue warning message. So one new addition was sliding, and based on your feedback, a friendly little heads up to help prevent a painful moment many clue chasers have faced. If you're at your 5 Master Clue limit and try to open a casket, That could give a master clue box. The game will display a warning message. You already have 5 master clues. Yeah, okay, that's good. It's a small change, but one we hope could save you a major headache. Hopefully it spares you from missing out on a master clue that just because you clicked so little too keen. They already do this with the solo master, like the current master clue, right? Or is that a RuneLite plugin maybe? I'm not sure. With the rest of the poll 84 now wrapped up, it's time for stackable clues to take center stage. This should come out not long after Yama, I'd imagine. If we get this poll next Monday, Yama comes out the week after that. This should be out not long after Yama if everything passes. Fucking vote yes to this shit. Yeah, this is big. This is a mad fix compared to what they did. I fuck with it big time. Jagex, that is, you've done a good job. Fuck yeah. Subscribe, suck a dick, see you in the live stream. Good night. Thank you. This is the easiest room in the raid. It's quite simple. You got a big boy. Look at him. God damn. Fuck me. Look at that boy. It's huge. You got a big boy.